Okay, so there we go. Excellent. Hi, welcome everybody. This is loads of fun. My name is Patrick Thaddeus Jackson. I'm a professor at American University. I am writing a book about Star Wars, but also this is a lot of fun because I don't get a chance to dress like this very often when I'm not founding in a Batu or something. But I'm thrilled to be able to do this. I figure if we're doing a showing, then we should show up, right? We should be able to look the part of it. So my only job here tonight is to introduce our presenter who's going to talk a little bit about what we're about to see here in these two important episodes of Andor in the second season. And this is Sarah Parkinson. And Sarah is the Aronson Associate Professor of Political Science and International Studies at Johns Hopkins University. And her research examines organizational behavior and social change in war and disaster-affected settings with a focus on Southwest Asia and North Africa. And Sarah and I also very much agree on the proper order to watch the films. There is only one proper order, and that is machete order, and that is the way one ought to actually watch the Star Wars movies. And so we definitely agree on that. We will see what else it is that we agree on as she talks us through Andor a little bit. We've also both written things that have appeared in the Washington Post on Star Wars. So Sarah is the author of How to Watch Star Wars Like an Insurgent that appeared in the Washington Post, which is fantastic. And she also wrote Andor is a lesson in building rebellion in foreign policy. So, getting up there to the discourse and the establishment of the empire by telling them about what they're up to.
Oh, yes, it's next.
Without further ado, Sarah Parkinson.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Patrick, and a very, very sincere thank you to Waleed Hasman, who has put together this viewing and this conference. This has been the sort of project that's been in the works for a while, where we're like, is this going to happen? And yeah, it turns out when you're passionate about things, you make them happen. I'd also like to thank Michelle, the University of Alabama, especially the library and IT staff for making this possible. As Patrick said, I'm Sarah Parkinson. I'm faculty at Johns Hopkins University. I've been studying political violence, rebellion, and armed organizations for the better part of 20 years at this point, which is a terrible thing to have to say about oneself. These episodes held a particular meaning for me as a scholar of both those topics and as someone who has spent a good deal of time in Southwest Asia and North Africa. So I'm going to offer some reframing comments about why I think that these episodes are particularly meaningful and significant, both in the Star Wars canon and sort of in broader understandings of politics, particularly nonviolent resistance. And then we can start the screening. I promise I won't keep you here for too long. I mentioned my work in Southwest Asia and North Africa because the first time that I watched episode 8, Who Are You?, I flashed back to watching the 2011 Egyptian uprising on Al Jazeera. Memories flooded back with plainclothes agents beating someone in front of me at a protest in Lebanon in 2008. I thought of Lafayette Square in Washington, D.C. in 2020. Esquire magazine has actually called Who Are You? The best Star Wars anything since 1980. I thought the same when I watched it. Speaking about it here, close to Selma, in the state where the Freedom Riders were firebombed and beaten, its realness sits with me. The episode forces us to de-romanticize nonviolent protest and to take a hard look at the challenges associated with it, not to mention the risks and sacrifices that we demand when we ask people to follow its core tenets. The massacre in Palmo Plaza is a stark reminder of the stakes involved in challenging an overwhelmingly unequal power dynamic, whether on a bridge in Alabama, a campus in Hong Kong, or a street in Tehran. When politicians demanded that people in Gaza rise up to overthrow Hamas, I heard them asking Gazans to choose Palmo Plaza, and then insisting they were culpable for not making that choice. Andor is an indictment of systems where people are locked into false choices and functionally afforded no way out. Episode 9, Welcome to the Rebellion, follows the Gorman Massacre. It centers on Mon Mothma's revolutionary speech in the Galactic Senate, which is a stunning indictment of the Empire's lies, of genocidal violence, of dehumanization, and of Senate complacency, even collaboration. I want to draw your attention to the labor that made Mothma's speech possible. I'm sure that we're going to talk about Mothma's speech. There's been a lot written on it, actually. In my career, I've found that this is the aspect of resistance, nonviolent and armed, that people are most likely to miss. As you watch, pay attention to how many people work to make Mon Mothma's speech possible, without being known to each other or to rebel leaders. Think of the behind-the-scenes work performed by Erskine Samaj or the nameless IT workers who keep the tech room locked. Resistance is often about the backstage uncredited labor, the people who quietly melt away after risking everything, who listen as Gold Squadron wins acclaim for Mothma's escape. If the original Star Wars trilogy was an archetypal heroic narrative, Andor, for me, is a eulogy for those who share their dreams with ghosts and who burn their lives to make sunrises possible for others. It is a celebration of hidden heroes and of the types of political sacrifices that we don't appreciate enough. So with that, I am very pleased to introduce these two episodes.